Hey everybody, and welcome to the Umbrella Fight. I'm your host Nathan, and today we're going to be talking about the only thing that matters in our world here, and that is video games. I'm joined by Devin and John. Guys, say hello.
What's going on, everybody?
John,
hello.
John's alive.
Buenos dias. I'm here.
See. All right. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. First off, I want to say thanks for everybody who happens to be listening to this. It's an amazing thing to have you here with us. And we're just going to go right in. We're going to start off talking about a little bit about what we've been playing and how we feel about it. Devin, you mind kicking us off? What have you been playing, dude?
Dude, I've been playing Dragon's Dogma II. Fantastic game so far.
All right.
It's been wonderful. It's like a really robust RPG. If you're not familiar with it, super heavy into like some lore as well. So it's a game that you spend time reading in. Like you're really going to have to know what's going on in the game. You have to understand that there's a lot of mechanics that are going on. You're micromanaging multiple different NPCs. But it's a great game.
You liking it so far?
They make it feel really good. There's a lot of customization. You can play the game the way that you want to play the game, like the class style, and you can kind of pivot too, which is really nice.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I spent some time this weekend playing that. I got a good couple sessions in, and I was really enjoying it. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma RPGs, man.
Yeah,
got a place in my heart.
Yeah. Anything else on your plate too, or just that's your main focus?
Vampire Survivor still is like the mobile game that's taking me over.
Wow.
But
that's the second episode in a row.
A week later, nothing's changed. But yeah, it's been fantastic. Vampire Survivor is just that game you can pick up and just run through a round, turn your brain off. Whatever you're doing, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
because you can just set the phone down, walk away, and then pick it back up, and you're kind of okay for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
As long as you're not just starting the round, like you're okay.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, John? What you been playing lately?
Man, lately I've been playing a lot of Rematch. I don't know if you
Rematch. I don't know. I don't know what that is.
So it was like marketed as kind of a Rocket League killer, and I don't know.
Rocket League's so massive. It's
Rocket League
funny.
has some years on. This game just came out.
Yeah,
but it's like a soccer. It's like Rocket League, no cars. It's humans.
They got out of the car.
Yeah,
okay.
they got out of the car and kept playing soccer.
Okay.
But it is really fun. Like I've just been playing it with friends, and the controls are really smooth. Like what you can do, like just with the ball, like you can just do cool kicks. It's just cool.
Just makes you feel like
it makes me feel like I'm playing soccer.
Nice.
What the mechanics in that game? Like they're like you said it was like, are they simple? Like
they're pretty simple. Like it's pretty straightforward. Like you can
intuitive.
You can dribble with the ball. Like you can do defensive stuff with the ball. Like obviously you can also like take the ball away from people. It's quite literally like soccer. What's cool? It's like how in Rocket League there's like walls and stuff.
Yep.
It's like that same kind of thing. So you can hit the ball off like the wall and do some cool stuff.
Is the dribbling in that game? Don't mind me. I'm going to end up playing this game, but I'm a big Rocket League guy. So, is the possession of the ball similar to Rocket League, where the ball is just floating in the game, or does it attach to a player?
It attaches to a player.
Okay, so it's kind of like a FIFA where like you kick the ball to a player. The player technically has quote unquote possession of the ball. Okay.
But it can be taken away from you very quickly. Like you have to know how to keep the ball. Like, cause it's very easy. Like if you don't know what you're doing, like somebody will just take the ball from you and it's like, oh dang, I don't have it anymore. And like, so there is stamina and stuff like that. So it's like, you have to manage like, all right, well I can't full sprint even though I have the ball. Cause if I run out, then they're just going to take the ball from me and it's over. Turnover. So
highly competitive though.
Yeah, so it does get very competitive.
Sweat
like,
fest.
Dude, like NVC, oh my gosh. So like for me, they started calling me just Apple Turnover because I was like turning over. I was like,
that is
still
hilarious.
am just turning over the ball so much. Like, and it's cool. Like you switch positions. So like every time a goal is scored, the game like resets. And so now you're in a new position. So you'll either be goalie or like you'll be on the wing.
That's just like Rocket
whatever.
League.
Yeah, you just like switch.
Sick.
And so like I like playing goalie, and like so you can do different kinds of kicks. So you can do a light kick, you can do an overhead kick kind of thing. I always just missile it right to the enemy team. So like, hence the name Apple Turnover.
Amazing.
Wow.
Well, cool. Sounds like you've been
No,
having
yeah,
fun with
it's
it, man.
been a
Apple
fun game.
turnover.
Other than that, I've just been playing like kind of the same games that I usually play.
Yeah, you got your rotation.
Yeah, I've been playing.
Everybody has a rotation.
Yeah, I've been playing CyberPunk still. I've been playing Overwatch. I've played League. So we got the same things pretty much.
I actually forgot I had a whole day where I played Skyward Sword for
What?
4 hours this last
Wow.
weekend.
Oh, so you got through just the intro?
No, it's a continuation.
Okay.
This is a previous save file that
Okay,
I've been
good. Thank God.
Wow.
slowly working through playing with my wife.
That has the
Dang.
longest onboarding of any Zelda game by far, and it's awful. I hate it so much.
It does take a while to pick up. I loved that. I'll kind of go into that game a little bit because I enjoy that game from an innovative standpoint. Nintendo does this a lot of times with their Zelda games. Is they'll take it and they'll put some of their new Nintendo hardware innovation into the Zelda game as kind of the highlight for those new technologies. They'll
Sure.
show you how to utilize it. And that Skyward Sword was one of those, right? They had the directional swing
Nice.
or whatever. So when it initially came out, I actually didn't want to play it because I was like, I don't want to swing my hand around to play this stupid game. I want to sit on the couch and be lazy and play a video game. Don't make me work out, Nintendo. Stop.
Just trying to get. They're trying to get you.
So
Your
I
steps
never-
in,
for a
but
while,
ARM
bro.
version.
Well, so I
into
never
that.
completed it, but they remastered it for the Switch, and they
Really?
yeah, they remastered it for the Switch. It's not like a graphical update or anything, but control update mainly was what they changed, and they added some really good controller support, so you don't have to do the motions for swinging. You just use the joystick, and it actually was done really, really well.
Okay.
It feels nice. I prefer it over the movements.
Oh, okay. That's because nearly every movement thing I've ever seen in any video game has been such a gimmick.
If that's why I didn't play it, I was like, and my older brother, he actually played it, and he was like, "This is a fantastic Zelda game. Oh my gosh, this is incredible. You've got to play it." And I'm just, I don't want to swing my arm around. And he's like, he was showing me the tricks of he was like, you can flick your wrist. All you got to do is this little motion. I just don't want to do that. Stop making me move.
They're
I'm gonna lay
overestimating.
down.
They're underestimating. I think Nintendo, when that came out, were underestimating the laziness of gamers.
Maybe just
100%, dude.
Americans though.
That's entirely
maybe.
possible.
The best, I will say the best way they implemented movement into controls, and I still think that this should be implemented across the board, seriously.
Oh, here comes a hot take,
Not
guys.
even a hot, I promise you, you're going to enjoy it as well.
Okay.
Breath of the Wild, when you're aiming in that with your bow, right, and you have the joystick and you're aiming, you also can slightly tilt your controller.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
It's the fine tuning that a joystick cannot give you in an aiming situation on a controller. You just don't get it.
Yeah.
So as soon as you that's fantastic. I love that feature.
Yeah, I've always hated first person. Well, it doesn't even have to be first person. Just aiming in general with a controller, I've gotten okay at it over the years.
I hate it.
But it's still, especially if you got to whip around real quick. There's no substitution for a mouse and keyboard.
Yes.
You just can't beat
true.
it.
So you hated the Wii.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no, that's not entirely true. I loved the nunchucks because of the ergonomics of being able to sit with both your arms just down at your lap.
Even lazier.
Wait, hold on a second. I'm learning something about myself. I think I don't want to move at all when I play video games. But no, I really loved that aspect of the Wii. I played the Wii a lot, actually.
Me too. Wii was the first console that we got that was hooked up to the living room that we could just use.
Nice.
No kidding. Yeah.
They didn't shove it off into the playroom with the kids.
No,
go
it
play
was
your beat boobs elsewhere.
Yeah, it was we could play the Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I loved the Wii. I just didn't like all the movements that I had to do through a long campaign game. I don't want to. I don't want to be forced to do that.
Call of Duty had a Wii game.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did.
Oh my goodness, you're
Yeah, it's
right.
something else.
I remember that. I played that over at some friend's house, and I was like, "What is going on?"
No,
it was
bad.
not good.
No.
It was
wasn't
terrible, actually.
Dude, there was this game like that. Speaking of the shooting, called it was a Cabela's hunting game.
Oh, I
you
know
could
that
get,
one.
and it came with a gun thing that you would put the nunchucks into, so you had a little gun. I played that game 8 times. I loved it.
That's sick.
Wow.
I really did like a lot of the Wii motion controls. In fact, when I first got my Wii, I was living by myself. It's just me in my room, and I hooked it up, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do some Wii sports. So I went through bowling and baseball. Guys, I 45 solid minutes playing boxing, and I'm not just like flicking the controllers because the Wii's new to me. I have it in my head at that time, I'm gonna have to box.
Yeah.
So like I've got my legs
swinging,
bent, I've
dude.
got stances, I've got my right back leg, you know, and I'm like I'm physically boxing ghosts in my room for like 45 minutes. When I was done, I thought, man, this is all right. I feel good. I got a workout in while playing some kind of boxing thing. Yeah. It was sick.
Did you beat Matt?
What? Who's
Matt?
Matt's the final boss.
The final boss of like all the Wii Sports.
No, dude, I was too tired.
Dude,
I said, Matt, you can have the title.
Bro,
Title's
Matt
yours,
was
bro.
a unit, dude.
Oh, was he?
I've never beat him, dude.
Oh, damn.
He's
the Mike Tyson of that game.
The gimmick of the Wii controllers is the flick.
Oh yeah,
because
really
like once you learn how to manipulate the flick, like you just it's the simple motion, and you're making it happen. Like bowling, it's just strike every time. It's just set it up, position, flick your wrist, like you're barely moving, and boom,
done.
And that was kind of what my brother was saying about Skyward Sword.
I always love the flicking with the tennis, because you see all four players just just like as
no,
fast
they
start
as humanly
freaking
possible.
out.
Doing too much.
Yeah.
So what have you been playing, dude?
All right. Man, I'm a little late to the game, and I'm only visiting this one because the second one came out, which this will transition us into the news pretty quickly. And I don't know how much input you'll have, but I started Death Stranding, and I'm a huge Hideo Kojima fan. I've been playing the Metal Gear series for a long time. It's super innovative. It really brought cinematics to games in a way that I don't think had really. I mean, Metal Gear Solid came out in 1998, and it had cutscenes and dialogue out the ass, and it was just like a cool experience. And I got to watch that happen all throughout. And then, man, during the Phantom Pain era, when Metal Gear Solid came out, Kojima had an issue with, I guess it was Konami at the time, and they split. So Phantom Pain, for lack of a better word, is an incomplete game in my mind.
That's crazy to me.
That's
the first Metal Gear game that I like ever played.
And so, it's sick, right?
And I was like, I remember playing. I was like, oh my god, like
it's
I'm
badass.
like watching a movie.
Yes,
like it was
exactly.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, one of the if you look at Kojima's Twitter account, his tagline says 40% of my body is made up of movies. It's quite accurate. So Death Stranding, I'm only like 5-6 hours in. I guess I'm still in the tutorial, but I got to give a golf clap to this game for the onboarding, because it feels natural for their universe. You know, they built this post-apocalyptic weird event that occurred of some sort.
So
and I'm
strange.
playing this Norman Reedus character carrying boxes around. On paper, this game sounds like garbage, because I'm a delivery boy and I'm having to balance boxes.
Yeah, that's the memes, right?
But
yeah,
the
Amazon simulator.
It is. It's a walking simulator,
Flex worker,
but
bro.
Amazon. But I'm telling you guys, when you get into it and you really like start looking at the quality of care that Kojima and his team put into everything, from the menus to the functionality of the character to the button combinations, everything was thought about 1,000 times over to make sure that the player's experience while playing this is interesting at the very least. And the game is dripping with style. I mean, just the coolest looking stuff. And you know, it's got the Kojima edge to it where you're like, man, this is a little silly, but I'm still having a good time. For example, I thought this was great. Your home base, you know, you always got a little home base and like a hub. You can go back, you sort your inventory and stuff. It's just this little room with Norman Reedus chilling out in it. You don't have to walk around it. You just kind of rotate the whole deal. So instead of doing up, down, left, and right on a menu and searching through all and doing your inventory, you have to go look at the toilet. All right, I'm going to go number 2 now. Yes, that's a thing you can do in the game.
Wow.
And there's a story reason for it. It's crazy. Everything that goes on in the game has like a story reason, whether it's like super great reason or not. They at least tried to tie it into something that makes sense and why this would be happening. So I'm really enjoying everything about that game. That said, it's not one that you can just pick up and play. It is a lock-in sort of game. You gotta like, all right, I've got 2 hours ahead of me.
Yeah,
I can probably get into a session of Death Stranding, and furthermore, I'm really having a good time with the positivity of that game, because in this broken down, disgusting post-apocalyptic environment, they're just trying to reconnect people with people. Like that's the ultimate goal of the game, is that America is fractured. This weird event happened. There's these invisible enemies that are out to get you. And it's such a unique perspective on the post-apocalyptic deal. Meanwhile, you're literally connecting cities to each other so that they can transfer data back and forth and, you know, work together. It's all about, hey, just reconnecting people to people. It's a human connection game. And I am really, really into it. Something of a unique experience.
I was going to say, it's definitely a very different game. It stands out.
Hugely different.
I can see why it's divisive.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
I mean, but being able to take somebody who, you know, doesn't want to deliver packages, and you play the game and you want to deliver packages.
I want to deliver packages.
That's amazing.
Make me want to deliver
that's
packages.
fantastic.
Yeah,
like
it's really cool.
They did wonderful.
Yes.
They can do that. Make you want to be an Amazon delivery person. Like
Right.
that's incredible. Like,
man,
way
it
to
gets
go.
crazy too. You got these boxes stacked up, and they're just like, you know, 10 feet tall above Norman Reedus's head, and like you're wobbling around and wading through rivers, and you have to grip one side of the backpack or the other, and it's just like I said, on paper it sounds like a terrible time, but I'm having a blast. It's so interesting to me.
I've seen a friend play it, and it's so like how does Hideo's mind work?
That's
Because,
exactly the
like,
question, isn't it?
How, like, you have a baby, like in like on your thing, you know, and it just
it's like an attachment for your suit.
yes,
Oh.
and
It's really weird.
and
so
it's
like
sitting in like fluid, like it's just
Oh.
you just have this baby. And
Have you played it?
No, but I've seen it play. Like
Okay,
I
okay.
watched my friend play it, and like
Wow.
that baby is like your warning of like invisible monsters near.
yeah.
Oh, it's like your detection system.
Yes.
Whoa.
A
So when it
baby.
gets stressed out, the baby gets stress levels, and you have
yes,
to like
and like that's
soothe it.
how you can
way.
react. Yes, and like if you die,
thinks of
no,
something
and,
like
and it
that?
gets even crazier because like so for whatever reason in the event that happened, human bodies explode when you die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like is it when you die or when you're exposed to
No,
the oxygen?
So like when you die, if you die, you know what? It's not clear yet in the story, but I don't know if it's a just die or die with the plague or whatever it is. But when humans die, when necrosis starts setting in after a certain amount of hours,
bomb.
they literally explode. But
You're
the
a
way they
bomb.
show, oh my God, I wish I could like pull up the cutscene
Pull
and
up the
just
clip.
make you watch it. Jamie, pull
crazy.
that clip up.
Literally,
But it's this giant, huge.
like you leave craters.
Yeah.
Like
Well, that's like the intro of the
gosh.
game is that the city that you're dealing with in the very beginning, there's a body and it goes wrong and it's on purpose. Like you can't save the city. It's a huge crater. And when they zoom out and show you standing next to it, it's like breathtaking. It almost is scary the way that they paint this world. And then just watching the explosion happen, because Norman Reedus had he blacks out, and then you get to see this like quote unquote other side, and it's a huge. I mean, it must be 200 feet tall being with no head or whatever, and it explodes, and suddenly there's this crater, and the people in that city are gone. Gone.
like when you're traveling, like doing your route, I guess, like there's a bunch of craters, and all of the craters are like other delivery boys that died and their body exploded.
Yep. And you can even pick up their. Some people will accidentally drop like cargo. That's what's great about this is it is multiplayer, but it's like asynchronous multiplayer.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't that from other players that like drop stuff?
Yeah. The other players' interactions with the game will directly affect yours. For example, you're trying
It's
to get
crazy.
up this mountain.
It's crazy.
And somebody
amazing.
Dude, you have to play this. Somebody else put a ladder up to scale that exact mountain.
You have access to that
Their
ladder.
ladder shows up in your games.
No
And then,
kidding.
Before you get on it, you get an opportunity to quote unquote like. That's the currency in the game or score is like likes. It's such an odd choice.
Like a Dark Souls message.
Straight up. But you get to the ladder and you have like a small 5-second, 7-second window of time to smash the like button. And you literally, I'm on PS5, so like that bar on the thing, the right-hand side, I'm just like, just like going to town, giving them as many likes as I can so that they can buy stuff in their game. And they're doing the same for me. You know, like
It's
I drop a sign
insane.
on the ground, like say, hey, there's
way.
BTs over here, which are the bad guys of the game. Don't go over here. Somebody might come up to my sign, smash the like button on it, and then all of a sudden I've got another 100 likes I can use.
Dude, that's
No,
so
dude, it's
sick.
like, so that's why I'm like,
What?
bro, like, how does,
My mind's blown. By
no, like,
this.
how does Hideo's mind work that like he thought of that?
Yeah.
And
That
it's
came
just
out of his
It's
brain.
really unique. That's
Yeah,
what's
it's like there's nothing else like that.
Yeah,
Like, that's
absolutely.
crazy.
coming up with that
there's
idea.
There's a lot of unique things, specifically in the indie game space. And right now, actually, I saw this the other day, and I don't have the balls to play it just yet, but I'll probably get to it. It's called Date Everything. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. First off, dating simulators. I have to put a preface up front. They're not my bag. It's not who I am.
We're not gotcha gamers.
Exposing
I'm
on
not
the
a gotcha
podcast,
gamer.
We're not
dude.
gotcha gamers.
But this Date Everything game, it puts you in a house in which everything, about 100 objects or so is what it says, I think, on the Steam page, are anthropomorphic. So you can date your toilet or date your dresser or date your standing mirror.
Okay.
That's unique. I just want to know what that game does now, you know?
Wow.
And I'm
what
really
a draw.
Outside the box.
date
Huh?
everything. And I've been really into games that do that sort of thing. Not just that, but any unique mechanic. And Death Stranding has that in spades.
That's crazy.
It's wild. And then pivoting over to news stories, Death Stranding 2 came out. Have you guys? That's like nothing but my Twitter feed now because Hideo Kojima retweets literally.
The only
everything
thing that I have seen is the side by side on the graphics, and it was unreal.
Crazy.
I
what
think
they were able to
Death
do.
Stranding 2 might be the best looking game I have ever seen. Ever.
Genuinely, before I saw the caption, I thought it was a picture of Death Stranding, and then the picture of
Like real life.
yeah, I thought it
the
was an
motion
actual
capturing.
Yeah, I thought it was an actual picture of the dude.
It's so impressive. They do a lot of zoom ins for faces because Kojima is definitely a movie guy. I will say the only ding I have is that some of the like dialogue goes on for a long time, but it just adds to like the tension and drama. I get where it's going, but they do some close zoom ins on people's faces and like skin texture, eyeballs,
Right.
Just everything about what's going on, even in the first game, looks incredible. And the unfortunate part is that if you're a PC guy, you've got to have a souped up rig that can actually do something. Whereas if you're just playing it on the PS5, it just works out of the box for the most part. It looks insane. I'm really, really impressed with it. And I cannot wait to play the second one. But I can't get into the second one without finishing the first one because the story actually matters in that game. It actually makes a difference as to what's going on. And I think the reason I'm most excited about the second one is that the first one spent a long time painting this universe for me, right? And now I don't have to do that. I understand what a BT is. I know what a poo grenade does. I know what happens when I pee on the ground.
Sweet.
The mushrooms are going to show up. Okay. And yeah, that's a thing in the
Where
game.
do they
Yeah, I was
show
gonna
up?
say, wow.
Where do they show
So
up?
you can so one of the mechanics is that you're drinking from your canteen, your bladder gets full, so you got to wee, right? And when you pee in this universe, I don't know if it affects water everywhere, but water, at least the rain, it's called time fall. So it accelerates time for whatever it touches. So when you
Wait, peeing on something accelerates time?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what's going on. So when you pee on the ground, a big old mushroom will show up, and they're called golden mushrooms or whatever it is. But those show up in other players' games as well, and you can
someone
get
pissed
food
where
here.
someone
peed here, and you can get
Wow.
food from that and restore your health or whatever.
you
Oh,
eat
you
it.
can eat their mushrooms.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
it's something else.
I'm telling you, that is some out of the box thinking.
Really, really unique. Yeah, so
Way to
that's like the
stand
big
out.
news right now is Death Stranding 2. So if you guys haven't checked it out, if you haven't checked out the first one and you're in for something unique and you're tired of just shooting guys, Death Stranding 2 has a very weird, interesting universe that you can really sink your teeth into. Highly recommend.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that on the list,
Yeah.
the big long list.
Another one to the pile.
You
my
can see
God.
you can only play like so many of those style of games where it's like we were talking about earlier, where you have that commitment time to get into the game. Like I can't just launch a sub, do a 30-minute session, 40-minute session.
And I struggle with that.
You have to lock in for like 2 hours to really feel like you even touch the game.
Yeah.
They're the best. They're the best single player style
The
games.
experience
but
is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
And I think
but
that's what leads to needing the lock-in so much is that it is an experience. It is a world.
you want
it's
to-
a living, breathing thing. And
yeah,
so
you want to engage. You want to be just pulled into that universe and just like that is where you're at.
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
That immersion. That's the word.
The immersion is key.
Dude, I don't know. So like for me, I'm very like with games like that, like like it's that thing we were talking about earlier, Nathan, how you just have to start, because the lead up to like starting, because I'm like, man, like I don't want to be here for like this, you know, like I just want to like kind of play, like I want to be able to detach if need be.
Like, let me pivot. I want to pivot to another game.
Like what if I just like riff time, you know, like because I'm very like ADHD like that, you know, like in the middle of playing games, I'm like, man, imagine hitting Q on a minion right now, and like I'll go play League. So like for me, I have to really like I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 like a bunch of times.
That is an immersion game too.
And that game is like it was almost like I had to go through like a David Goggins level of like lock in, sit down, play the damn game. And like I my brain is just, I'm like, bro, lock in, dude. Like, but then my brain's like, no,
you could be defending a lane, you know?
Exactly. Like I could be farming right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, the danger of farming. Let's not get into that. Farming is that for a min-maxer, like my brain does that. When I play Stardew Valley, I try to get as much money as possible. My wife plays that game way different than I do.
Wow.
And but yeah, that's, man, I love those immersive. I'm going to go back and play RDR2 because of that. Because it really is
finished
spectacular universe. Well, Rockstar, I got halfway through that game, and they wrote a story that is crazy. There's a midpoint in the game. I think it's the end of chapter 3, and spoiler warning. And don't worry, I won't spoil this for you too much. But there's an event that happens at the end of that you're like, God dang. The main character means business, and it's like a gray area kind of event. When you get to that point, if you ever get back to RDR2 and get to the end of that chapter, you'll know what I'm talking about. And when you get there, let me know what you think, because I'm curious.
I really, Red Dead is one of those games where like I feel like for me I have to finish it, because like I've seen reactions, like people reacting to the ending, and it's always either complete silence or just sobbing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what could have happened? I thought we were, happy cowboy gang.
Yep. No. Oh,
so like
they write some characters in that game that really are living, breathing characters. Their writing team is excellent. They do a lot of stuff in there that, because it's easy enough to write some events, but writing a personality for a character, that's hard. Keeping a consistent personality for a character can be difficult, And I think they do it really well in Red Dead 2. And I only went through half of the game, so hopefully it stays consistent. But I had a great time with those characters in that camp. And you can even get sucked into just building up your camp. You can forget the whole story. You just live in the cowboy universe.
I hate the camp.
Do you?
Dude, I'm like, bro, get me out of here, dog. Hey, go to town. Go do something.
Yeah.
Go do something.
For
Why
sure.
am I carrying this right now?
Yeah. All right. I actually want to pivot real quick. Unless you guys have anything else that is on your gaming plate.
No, not right
now.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, right on. I want to talk about a news story that I saw on Games Radar. I know, John, this is kind of your wheelhouse.
I deep dived on that.
The Nexus Mods story.
Yeah.
Okay, so for anybody who is not familiar with Nexus Mods is a website that mods.
It's amazing.
It's an incredibly good
so easy
repository for mods. They have a client that you can install called Vortex that you just
does it for you.
It's an insanely good tool. And right now, the EU is looking at putting age gates on adult content in the mod universe. And that doesn't necessarily affect everybody, but it is an interesting subject. Should a website have to put in an age gate that, for this scenario, putting in a yes, I'm 18, no, I'm not 18 age gate is like standard fare. But when it comes to needing to upload your personal information to a verification, uploading personal information or an ID to a third-party server, not knowing exactly what they're going to do with that data, and even if they state we get rid of your data, not knowing if they're liars like Google is, that is for me, I think that is an overstep in the government area. Like for Nexus and their management team, do what you have to do to gate that content away from, whether I have to register or get however it works. But I personally would rather not upload my personal details to a website just to access content that I like. I think that is way over the line.
I think the oversight comes into play because we're just not prepared for people verification online. Like, we just don't have a very good, consistent way to verify who you are truly online. I mean, that's going to spread across a ton of different things.
Yeah.
But that's the root cause. And so this is like them trying to essentially put some sort of a Band-Aid. I mean, because this is the conversation everywhere. They're starting to. I mean, there's regulation in the states that we see doing the same thing. They're trying to put age gates on websites, and so then these websites are spinning up tools to be able to do age verification. And it's like, how can we even know that this is even legitimate? And there's not a good solution for it. I think it's important, right? Like, it's realistically what they're. Let's say the positive, the good out of it is we're protecting children from content that they shouldn't be seeing, right? Or interacting with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna slice right in there. That is not the website's job. That is mom and dad's job.
Yes, 100%. I do 100% agree with that. I mean, but I will say, unfortunately, not every kid has a mom and a dad. That's also a potential.
I get that.
And there's also irresponsible mothers and fathers. That can be coming into play. But
watch what your kids are doing, guys.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
especially
100%.
on the computer.
But I think end of the day, I think what's important is a better long-term solution for that, rather than trying to put these Band-Aids on things like that then pose potential risks for future data breaches and that whole aspect of things where, now your data is in the hands of, like you said, who knows? Where did it go?
Entity.
They sold it over here. It's tossed over to this data broker, and now there's a data breach, right? And now your name's on that list, and you don't even know how it happened.
1,000%.
And it's your driver's license. Your identification.
And it was your kid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I don't know what the solution is, but I can tell you that I don't like this. It stinks to high heaven because of how data is transferred and handled by companies. Yeah. We see it all the time. I got my accounts breached because Home Depot couldn't keep their shit together. Okay? It's just, I want to know as a consumer that both the content that shouldn't be in the hands of minors isn't in the hands of minors, but also I don't want to have to justify to Uncle Sam what I'm doing online as an adult. That's not their business. You know what I'm saying? John, what do you think of all this?
So, like, when I read the full news story, and like, I remember I was just scrolling through the comments.
They locked them pretty quick, huh?
Fast.
Real fast.
Like, I refreshed my page. Like, I wanted to go to like the next thing of comments, and it was like, oh, they're locked. But like, I think there's just a frustration with this kind of new control that legislation is having just over internet use in general.
Yeah.
And I think I saw it heavily in those comments, right? Because when the internet first rolled around, I mean, it was like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was
a phrase I use every time.
It was unmoderated. You had actual complete anonymity. Like, you had a space where you could do what you wanted at no consequence.
I lived in IRC at that time.
Like you could just do that. And then so now it's like, wow, even I want to download let's say a mod on CyberPunk because I want the driving to be better. But now if I want to make an account in the EU, if that mod is under the adult section, I have to upload my personal data just to install a mod.
Yeah.
And it's nuts, right? Because like I said, it's like, I don't know what the fix is. But like, the frustration is,
this isn't it.
It can't be.
This isn't it.
Right? Because it's like, we know, especially, I mean, in our line of work, like, we know God knows what they do with that data.
For real.
Like
100%.
Like and not even just like whatever third party they're going to use, but even just across the board. Like, our data is just for everybody, essentially, because we don't know where it goes.
Yeah.
We don't, like you said, because Home Depot, somebody couldn't get their stuff together, your data got breached.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now I need to trust this third party that who I don't know, has nothing to do with Nexus Mods with my data because I want to drive better in CyberPunk.
Hard pass.
So it's it's crazy. So it's like, what do you do? And I think it's a part of a broader conversation of
It
like,
is. This is just this is small potatoes, really, but it's the groundhog peeking its head out of
it's
the
affecting
dirt.
the gaming community, and
for sure,
it frustrates you because it's at the end of the day we just want to play our game, and we want if we want to mod our game and play in a different way, then we want to do that. Like, why do we have to go through these barriers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And
that's the frustration.
It's such a slippery slope because it turns into, now that you've uploaded your ID, your personal information, whoever has that data knows exactly what you've been doing with the Nexus Mods thing, or they could, we don't know. That's the issue. It's a lack of transparency. That's the real problem, I think. And like I said, I don't know what the solution is, but it's not this. And it's weird.
Really unfortunate.
Dude, like there's even some sites like here in the US that will use AI age verification.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to go great.
Isn't that insane?
AI integration into everything is just
and just to purely verify like your age, and like it'll scan your face and determine your age so it's like now they know how I look like.
Yeah.
Now they know who I am.
Now they've got your face.
Now they've got my face.
They've got your face dimensions and can unlock all of your devices if they want to.
If they so wanted to.
Yeah.
And it's like, what? Like, where do we go?
Yeah. Do we roll over and give up all of our privacy? Or do we make a stink about it and let the Wild West remain the Wild West?
Yeah, and
I think you have to throw a fit because they need a better solution.
Yeah,
there's a solution.
That's absolutely right.
That's what you do. You throw a fit.
There has to be a better way.
Look, I mean, these are the people making these legislations are supposed to be the best minds, right? So make them.
Have you met anyone in Congress? Have you seen?
But my point exactly.
Let me point you to a man named Hank Johnson.
Make them do their job well.
Yeah, do it better.
Throw a fit until they do their job properly.
Yeah.
Right? If you're going to regulate everyone else in the entire world, you better put your thought into it. You better put some work into it.
And you have to know what you're talking about too. That's the thing. Is like,
don't just be a law writer. You need a cybersecurity expert.
Yeah.
You need a game developer.
Yes.
You need the people making the mods.
Technical people.
Yes.
There.
Not just lawyers. Not just legislators.
Yeah.
Not just lobbyers.
Not some trust fund baby. Like it's just
dude,
like
seriously.
It's like I remember when like TikTok was like the owner of TikTok was at a hearing or whatever for like just data privacy stuff. Like some of the questions that like he was being asked made it so clear that the committee had no technical sense of anything.
Right.
Like I remember they asked him a question like, does the TikTok app access the home Wi-Fi network? And it's like, of course it,
that's how you get to the internet.
Like every other app in like your computer. Yeah. And it's like Mitch McConnell doesn't know what an IP address is.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? So it's like
a phrase like hacked my IP address would light bells up in his head because he thinks that's a thing.
And so it's like, man, this could go like forever. This could be a rabbit hole conversation.
That is true.
But it's like the thing is like exactly like Devin said, we need technical people. If you're gonna come into this space and say and draw up these lines, know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and as a U.S. citizen, I can speak. I mean, you guys are too, but we have somebody who was listening in Turkey. So hi, Turkey, how you guys doing? For our senators, I think we need young blood in there. This like breaches political conversation, like truly. We have a bunch of old people in there, and I don't think the Hank Johnsons and Maisie Hironos of the world are ever going to understand the basics, let alone cybersecurity, deep dives, data transfer and data at rest, data in transit. They probably couldn't even tell you the difference between those two. So
I don't think they want to know the difference.
I don't think they really care.
That is the rub. They don't care.
They don't care.
But they do. They want to tell you what to do with your data, but they don't have to be subject to the same rules, and they don't give a fuck about you. That's the problem. I want somebody telling me what I should and shouldn't do from a safety perspective who gives a shit who I am as a consumer. And at the end of the day, we're probably not going to get that ever. And that's a really unfortunate thing.
It's a power thing too, right? Those regulations, they're and I would say a power thing. Like you said, Wild West is the internet in the beginning, right? And what has happened is when there's this outlet of freedom, regulation and government wants to come in and put their hands in all of it. And that's a part of what's happening is part of it is they're probably being pushed by one other party or some other entity to say, hey, we should regulate these things.
It's the satanic panic all over again. We did it in the 70s with rock music. Yeah. We did it in the 90s with Mortal Kombat, straight up video games. We've been here before.
Dude.
And you know what? I think there's an underlying thing on this discussion that I think isn't mentioned as often. It assumes the idiocy of children. And children are stupid. Don't get me wrong. They come out that way. They don't know anything, and that's fine. But I think a lot of adults just assume kids are completely stupid and do the wrong thing on purpose. But from having 2 kids, I know that if you start from a good foundation, they at least have some sense of what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
And if you're really leaning into that is something that can mitigate exposure to things they don't need to see.
But I think maybe pivot from the vocabulary of stupid to ignorant, because
I say that. I'm sorry. That's like a hot take.
No, you're fine
right there.
No, because I think it's important to say that they're ignorant because kids are extremely clever.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at.
They
are
clever.
smarter
They're very,
than you
very
give them
clever.
credit for.
Yes, but they're ignorant. They don't know.
Yeah.
And that's I think why something like this is posed is they're ignorant to content. Maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't be. And part of it, like we said, the parents, etc. But that's where like you justify these types of changes. It's protecting the children, and it's because they're ignorant of things that could potentially harm them. Right? Putting that type of stuff into a child's mind is not healthy. And so that's the justification of we should block them. And how do we block them? Well, we make them do identification, and then they can't present that identification, so then they can't get the content. Right? That's clearly not the solution. But that's the objective, if you will.
Yeah.
But
it's helicopter parenting in legislative form.
Yeah.
And I don't
government shouldn't
that.
Replace parents.
Yeah, absolutely not. Don't even get me started on that subject. I could start talking about.
Sorry,
I mean, because it is also all right. You're trying to protect kids, so let's say you can get a permit or whatever at like 16. So let's say some kid now you're talking about 16-year-olds are uploading their data to a third party, and it's like, who knows, where that goes. And it's like, I wouldn't want my child's data just out there.
It's incredible when I see younger individuals interact with technology, how the interaction is so different from how I've always interacted with technology. Yeah. You have a pop-up come up on your screen, and you look at the pop-up and you go, what is it saying? Dude, when younger individuals are interacting with technology, they tap things until it gets to where they want to go. And they can jump around like crazy. It's a very different way to interact. It's not wrong. It's just a different way to interact with technology. And so trying to give pop-ups, trying to give like these warnings, or it's a shift in the way that we're using technology.
It falls on deaf ears a lot of times.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. And they're going to find the workaround. They're going to find the fix.
That is the other part of the deal. Like, implement everything all you want.
Yep.
The technology is advancing to protect, and the technology is advancing to do the opposite, to break.
Yep.
And also, hey, if I'm in the EU, I'll just pop a VPN, go to a US server, and download whatever I want.
Yeah.
There's so many free VPNs out there. And here's the thing is you don't want them using the free VPNs if you know anything about that. Like, it's not safe to do that. No. And so you're now encouraging workarounds that are probably less secure than if they would just have gone to the content directly. Right. So it's unfortunate.
I don't have the answer, and I don't think you guys either.
No, yeah,
but
we can talk in circles about this one.
Yeah. That's true. It's a
social problem.
It is. It's a cultural social problem more than anything else. And,
unfortunately, gamers are seeing the repercussions at this point.
They are. It's unfortunate. But, Let's get off that topic real quick because, man, it's kind of bumming me out. Let's be real.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, really.
I do want to talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart because of the way I grew up with video games. I mentioned in the previous episode that my initial console was the NES. And at some point, I think I was like 12, I discovered what an emulator was. And you can install software on your computer and play NES games. You're kidding me, right? My little mind was blown. And so I explored that area. And now here we are in 2025. There's a petition that was surfaced right now. It just says "Stop killing games."
Oh yeah.
And this starts in on the subject of game preservation.
Yep.
And the importance of having a historical, playable version of a game. It's sort of like being at the library, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you throw out Huck Finn? No. Somebody might need to read Huck Finn at some point, so you keep a copy of it.
Yeah,
you have it around.
Yeah, not every library needs it, but
now we're falling
archive.
into this trap where these corporations own these intellectual properties, and because they own it and they want to make sure that nobody else is making money off of it, which is a business's goal. I get it. They will do crazier and crazier things. And I'm going to connect a story that I'm about to mention to this exact subject. Do you guys know who Tim Cain is?
Isn't he creator of Fallout, no?
Nice. Very good. Yes, Tim Cain. He's the original creator of Fallout. He's with Obsidian Entertainment. He also worked on the Outer Worlds. I think he was a director for Outer Worlds. If you guys haven't played, if you're into Fallout and you haven't played the Outer Worlds, I recommend playing it.
Of good things
it's like Fallout without the fat. It cuts out a lot of the fat. It's really, really, really good. But anyway, Tim Cain came out and started talking about how the company that owns the Fallout source code requested him to delete it. The original Fallout source code.
Yeah.
They wanted him to destroy it. And I almost don't have words for that.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Like, tuck it away, store it on a server somewhere, make sure it's backed up. If you don't want people to have it, that's fine. Destruction is not the answer.
No.
I want my generation, I want my kids to take a look at Fallout and be able to play it at some point.
What's the motivation?
I think the misguided motivation, the misguided motivation on that is a C-level suit, understanding that this source code is a asset and nothing more, rather than a piece of history that broke ground. Fallout is legendary. It spawned an entire generation of gamers that really sunk their teeth into this post-apocalyptic world. And the first two, vastly different from 3, 4, 76, all that stuff, but still groundbreaking in its time. And it deserves to be preserved. And I would go so far as to say that everything everybody makes deserves to be preserved. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't deserve to be destroyed in the potential protection of profits.
Yeah, but if you're destroying the source code, what are you saving for profit?
That's the thing. I think it's a misguided.
That's why I think if the objective was, hey, we're going to put this away, it's going to be taken away from anyone's access except one dude. He's got it on a server, a drive, whatever, shoved in the closet, and that's where it lives because he's sitting on it like a stock, right? And one day he's going to bring it out, reinvent it, right? It's going to be this amazing thing.
Yeah.
That's one way to look at it. But destroying me is you're literally just it's gone.
You're erasing history. Something
it's gone.
that changed games forever. Sorry, I might be a little bit loud here. I'm going to crank it down. Something that changed games. Tim Cain's contribution to gaming as a whole needs to be preserved. It doesn't deserve to be destroyed and forgotten about.
I agree.
Because where we are now is a direct result of Tim Cain's efforts, his team's efforts during that time. They pushed boundaries at that time and made computer games different. And because of that, we should respect it. It's just like having a original first edition copy of The Silmarillion by Tolkien. You want to hang on to that thing because the text in there is unique. It's interesting, and it deserves our, especially in a digital world where putting something on a server costs you, especially for Fallout, less than a gig, way less than a gig.
The cost of
Come on,
is nothing.
the cost of preservation isn't that much. And I know that there's some C-level guy screaming at the top of his lungs in the car right now at me going, "You don't understand, man." And I'm telling you, and I'm telling everybody in that mind frame, you don't understand. You don't get how important these games are, not just for those people at that time, not just for those players at that time, but for those players now, for those players inbound. We need to make sure that those guys who are coming up and really sinking their teeth into making games, to playing games, to creating podcasts about video games, to creating YouTube videos about games, understand their history because it is important. The building blocks of where we are now are vital. And if we're just destroying them in hopes that EA doesn't lose $10 because somebody copied a source code and stuck it in a game, first off, they wouldn't lose anything anyway. And second off, that is an irrational response to a phantom problem that doesn't actually exist. What do the average game dev person, does the average game developer actually care about the Fallout source code and stealing it to make their own game? No.
Clearly no.
There's better tools now to do
not.
that type of thing. But it would be worse if they couldn't go back and look and see, okay, how did they manage at this time this sort of subsystem? You can go in there and look at it because it was preserved. And I think the destruction of that piece of history is really stupid. It's a stupid move.
Yeah, destroying history in general is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we learn from the past. That is what we learn from. Is the past.
That's all we learn
so
from,
when
right?
when you eliminate that, then how can you continue learning?
Yeah.
And if that becomes the norm of just eliminating the history of, and not just a small like drop. This was a bigger drop in the gaming bucket.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing a massive part of what we can learn from in the gaming community into what has really grown into an enormous industry, right? Started very, very small, right? The niche, it was just a couple of nerds wanting to do some stuff. And it is now every person, almost in every household, has some sort of game on their phone, their console, their TV, their computer. Everyone is a gamer to some degree. If you would take the least gamer-esque person today, right, with their iPhone, they probably they've got whatever the app is.
They've at least got Bejeweled on there.
Candy Crush.
Bring them back to the
Candy
90s. They're a gamer. They have this very unique style game on this portable technology device that they can play anywhere. That does all of these cool. It's a full-blown 90s game.
Straight up, you're right.
In everyone's hand, and everyone does this.
Yeah.
And destroying those foundational pieces that got us to a place where now the gaming industry is just booming and growing.
Last
and
year,
expanding.
Steam alone, just Valve, made $10.8 billion. That's billion with a B
that's
dollars.
Insane.
Huge money.
Dude, first off,
And that's just Steam.
golf clap for Valve for doing.
Shout out to
what
Gabe
they do.
Newell.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's an amazing company for sure. But you're right. That is where we are now. It's a titan of an industry. And to forsake its roots, I think is disrespectful, first off. id Software paved the way for me to pop open Godot and make a simple first-person shooter.
Yeah.
They built their engines from scratch back then. And I'm not saying that's not done today. There's tons of engines out there that are closed source that they use internally, and amazing. I love that. But where would they be without the efforts of people like Tim Cain, like John Carmack?
We wouldn't have these indie game devs all over the place.
Yeah.
The popular the growth of the gaming industry. We see that in the smaller dev games that are coming out that are blowing out these quadruple A game studios that are pumping out terrible quality video games. To some degree, right? Or by today's standards,
lot of degree.
I would say, by today's standards, at least.
I agree.
And that's the importance of it. It is the history. It is what got us here today in gaming. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it deserves to be preserved. And
I couldn't agree more.
At the end of the day, if you're legislating or by rule ordering people to destroy stuff that is near and dear to their heart, it's not going to be received well. First off, and second off, it is. I think it just comes back to disrespectful. It's disrespectful for the people who paved the way.
Let them decide.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you don't care for this thing anymore, why destroy it?
Yeah.
Why waste it?
Yeah. It's like this building is empty. Let's just set it on fire. No, you wouldn't do that.
No, someone else will utilize this.
Repurpose it.
Old technology, right? Like every time I've gotten a new computer, my old computer goes to someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone else uses that technology because it's beneficial for them. Why would I incinerate that technology?
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
That makes no sense. It's wasteful. And I think that's a part of it. It's wasteful. And you're not allowing the other people who want the technology to even have a chance at using it.
Yeah.
And it's like that in games. We love these games. We have relationships with these games, essentially, right?
For lack of a better word, we do.
You are like actively playing this game for years and years, and it's just It's gone. And they get to decide that.
Yeah. This doesn't even broach the topic of modern games and always online games and games as a service.
This is that movement that's going on right now. What was
It's Stop Killing Games.
Stop Killing Games.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly, it's a part of that, movement of preservation of video games. And, that's a part of the history. It's like there's these games that were built on a foundation that had to be kept online. And it's like, so what happens when they go offline? Now we just lose that piece of history. It's gone.
Yeah. And it isn't as simple in a lot of cases, specifically with the Fallout thing. It's not as simple as source code, and I understand that. I'm not stupid. But at the end of the day, who is harmed by, hey, we're closing this studio, we're not going to operate these servers anymore. Here is the programs we use internally to spin up servers. If you want to make your own server, go ahead and do that. Who is harmed by that? If you're not actively charging people for monthly subscriptions for WoW,
if you're not going to make money from it anyway.
Who gets hurt by those
the gamers
player servers? No one really.
Nobody.
But if you
take the game away,
if you take away their ability or don't allow them the ability to spin up their own servers, they're the only ones who are harmed.
Correct.
The company is not harmed in any way.
Yep. Because you weren't planning on making any additional money with it in the first place.
100%. Yeah. I think it should be required. Okay, maybe not required. I don't think you should legislate that sort of thing, but that's a gray area, Yeah. I don't want to tell companies what they have to do with their stuff, but the decisions they're making are
you can talk about morality of it, right? Like if you want to get into the morality of what, like destroying a source code of a major titan in the gaming industry,
like a Fortnite.
Yeah, like destroying that titan in the industry. Imagine all of existence of Fortnite is gone.
Yeah.
We have no way to reproduce it other than creating a similar, right? We could recode everything again, but it's not going to be Fortnite.
It's not the
same.
same.
History is gone. And I think that's the travesty that we are trying to address with the morality of it is when game developers are building these, it's not the developers, it's the management. It's these
management.
executives, right?
We should be clear about that. If you're a dev working your ass off in the games, we appreciate every single step of the way. Yes, absolutely.
It's the corporate overlords.
It's corporate overlords.
Our big corporate overlords are just, they're, for whatever reason,
there's just a disconnect.
They're making more money doing the live server games or even a solo.
That's why you have a billion of those out now. And then you see stories like Concord. Concord was out for like a week, and then they were like, nope, and they shut the whole thing down. Think about that exact subject you're talking about is Fortnite, right?
Yep.
Let's say I've got a kid. He likes Fortnite. He spent $10 a month. I allow him $10 a month, and he plays it for 2 years. $240 down the drain. Hey, everybody. So sorry about that. We had a minor technical difficulty, so we're picking this back up. We were talking about Fortnite, and I was painting a picture in which somebody spends X number of dollars. It doesn't even matter, but let's make it a big number, like $500 on Fortnite, and then Fortnite decides they just want to shut down the servers. Where does that leave the consumer? What have they actually purchased? What's the justification on their end for spending that much money if they just know you're going to pull the plug later on? I mean, on one hand, you could say don't buy digital shit because that's a stupid thing to spend your money on, but they're offering it for sale and people are buying it. So if you're not going to give them recourse to play with the toys that they bought and you're just going to shut everything down arbitrarily, that's going to leave a lot of consumers out a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of effort for nothing.
And let's be honest, when you're making those purchases, you're not thinking about that. You're thinking about, I get this skin for the game. You're not thinking about, I'm not getting this, I'm not owning this skin. You're excited because you get to use the skin in the game. You're not thinking about this long term, will I own this skin? And maybe it doesn't matter to you down the road, but that's not the point, right? We were talking about the morality of it.
Yeah.
Is when you have these live service games where you must be online, and especially in a single player situation where you can dump hundreds of hours, thousands of hours into these games, right? When you're talking about stuff like Skyrim, Fallout, those are not live service games, but imagine those being a live service game where you put these hours into whatever the creations are, and the moment they decide that they're done doing business, all of that, your history
Gone.
with that game is gone.
Gone.
It's unfair. It really is. It's unfair because they're expecting you to spend your hard-earned money on their product, and then they just throw it away because profits? Question mark? Because protection of IP.
Yeah, maybe they're not making the profits anymore, so they're saying, "Oh, we don't want to keep the servers up."
Right. The red line crossed the black line, so now we're going to close doors and fuck the consumer.
Yeah, we're going to save our tail, get out of here while we're ahead, and then all the consumers lose everything that they've put into it.
Yeah. If you're a game dev and you're working with the big company, I don't know, steal some assets, tuck the source code away somewhere. I don't care what you got to do. But if you're ordered to destroy the source code for a game,
never.
Don't do it.
Don't do it, man.
Who's pushing the button on that?
Who sent that email out, right?
Yeah. Wow.
I don't think that anyone would. Like the people that they would ask, because damn well a C-level suit isn't going to be able to delete source code for a game. Like they don't even know what it is, right? But there's no way. I don't see a game developer, right? Somebody that their life is games, actually going through and destroying source code.
Certainly they wouldn't. And I'm not going to out Tim Cain for keeping the source code because I have no idea, but if it were my baby, I couldn't just throw it out.
Did he actually delete it?
He said so in the interview. He said when you're told to delete something, you delete it. I get that. But I would hope that there's some other accomplice or a safety net or a backup of it somewhere.
Yeah, not when it's something like that. It's one thing to delete a bad picture, right? Like that's one type of data. But when you're talking about a titan of a game, something that really shifted an industry, that's not a simple delete.
I want to believe.
Yeah, for me that's non-negotiable.
I wouldn't believe he didn't. Imagine the work he did. That's labor.
At least 3 years working on a game like that.
Back then, to code stuff was so much harder.
You actually had to know how to code and come up. They had to come up with stuff.
Dude, there's no. I don't believe that he deleted it.
All right. I think I'm with you on that.
I don't.
He got a secret copy somewhere that he just doesn't want people to know.
It's just like we're tech guys, so it's like when we literally take our time, right, which on a base human level, time is all we have.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And we decide that we're going to spend it on doing this thing purely for the love of the game. Right. I refuse to believe. Right. Tim Cain probably spent hours, late nights, just at this terminal, just coding. There's no way he deleted it.
Yeah. I think I'm with you on that.
Makes a lot of sense.
For sure. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and jump into our next section. That'll be emails. We got a couple of emails from some listeners.
Let's go. This is crazy.
Yeah. So the email address is podcast@umbrellafight.xyz. I want to hear what you guys think. What do you think about game preservation? Tell me what you think about that. What do you like about Death Stranding 2? What do you hate about it? What did you play when you were a kid? Tell what's your favorite Mountain Dew flavor? I don't give a shit. Send me some communication. We'll talk about it. This first email I'm going to read is a question from Keegan, and Keegan asks, "What is your earliest core memory?" And core memories in quotes. I assume maybe an Inside Out reference here of playing a video game. Something that really stuck with you.
Oh man. Deep question, huh?
Yeah, that reaches
the
back
core,
down.
So I feel like because I have a lot of memories, but like the core memory, I feel like is something that is
the first.
It's a
it's a defining memory.
Yeah, the defining memory. Thank you. Yeah, it's that thing that stands out in your memories. Not. We definitely I have first memories of games.
So kind of what got us hooked on just gaming. Mm-hmm. You think is the question?
I think.
Maybe both.
Core memory is such an open term. I think you could go that route if you want. I know what my core memory is. And there's actually several with the NES, but there's one in particular that stuck out with me, and that is playing Mega Man 2
Wow.
Way back in the day. There's a specific instance. I mean, I just remember spending hours and hours on that. And I had all my friends over at some point. We were all taking turns trying to finish the game and whatnot. And actually, this core memory has nothing to do with video games directly, because I closed the front door and smashed my middle finger on my right hand.
Woof.
And there's this moment of being in my living room and playing this game with my friends, but also having a smashed finger, but still I didn't care. I was like, this giant mecha dragon is going down, whether I've got a bleeding finger or not. And that was when I realized, internally anyway, that video games were my bag. My mom will probably tell you, though, that the core memory of me finding out about video games was when she brought the NES home and Super Mario 3 was on the screen. And there was nothing my parents could do to keep me away from. I was behind the couch just peeking.
Oh man, the amount of times I got in trouble for playing video games
Mm-hmm.
because I just couldn't keep my hands off, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much fun. And, you know, my son Levi has the same bent. He approaches games in such a different way than I do when I was a kid. But he's got these tools in front of him now. You know, kids.
Gaming is very
11
different.
and he's modding Pizza Tower. What? I can't even wrap my brain around that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's my core memory is, despite the pain and effort, Mega Man 2 was getting completed one way or the other. And then the rest of the NES games and Sega Genesis and all those other ones just kind of fell into my life as time went on. And it's never been the same since, guys.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's incredible. I was exposed to video games like a ton. My dad was he played a ton of video games too when I was younger. My uncle also played a ton of video games. So my cousins played video games. My older brother played video games. So I mean, I was just grafted into the already existing gamers in my life.
That's awesome.
And so, I mean, it started when as soon as I could hold a controller, I was playing video games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it was already there. I cannot tell you a pivotal moment, but I can tell you some of the earlier days of playing the Super Nintendo with my older brother, Super Mario Bros. Yes, I was Luigi because I was the younger
brother
bro.
is always Luigi.
Always player 2.
You never get
always
player
Luigi.
1's controller.
I tried
Always
so hard. It never worked. I couldn't get it. But yeah, Super Mario Bros. Playing that with my older brother on the TV in our, like, we had a little TV in our bedroom. We weren't supposed to use it. It was bedtime. We get sent to bed. It's a school night.
It's Super Nintendo time.
And it was Super Nintendo time, not bedtime, baby. So we would start playing, and you know, you think you're sneaky as a child, and you know, our parents were like, "Yeah, we knew you were playing games, but like, just let it happen for at least a little bit." And yeah, we would stay up and play video games with each other. You know, we had Street Fighter on the, I think it was Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo, and then Super Mario Bros. And then I think those are the two ones that really stuck with me. I think there was another one that we played, but both of those games, man, and we loved doing that. It was when it was bedtime, that was Super Nintendo time, and like that was what we did.
Hell yeah,
it was super great. I think that's some of my main cores.
Man, so like for me, I feel like I got into like gaming kind of late in my life, just because like my parents were very like no video games. So like like growing up, we'd go to family functions, and like, you know, I have very early memories of just getting absolutely obliterated in Black Ops 2 on PS2, specifically the map Terminal.
Yeah.
Like just getting absolutely smoked, like in just just custom games, because I didn't even know what the controller was.
Sure.
Right. So that's I think probably the earliest memory I have with video games. But for me, my first console was a Nintendo DS. And like that was crazy because like I talked about on the previous episode how like we had like a jailbroken Nintendo.
Yeah.
So like the first game that I was like I played over and over and over, like just multiple times, there was a game on the Nintendo DS. It was called Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Nice.
And it was like I just remember you would go through like time, right? And like you would play these different Spider-Men from different universes, whatever. But like that game enthralled me because I was like, whoa, you know, like I'm Spider-Man. I am Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
And then like, but the memory I have where I was like, I never want to not play video games anymore was when we got our Wii and I was playing Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2.
Nice.
And
That's a good
game.
one. That's a good one.
I remember playing it and I was like, no, like this is what gaming is.
This is now my
The
personality.
pinnacle of human
This
achievement
is
is Star Wars Force
like
Unleashed 2.
My life led up to this, to me being able to play Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. And
That's
like
awesome.
that game was like so good, and like it was weird. So on Nintendo they had like a mini game built in where you could do like 1v1s.
Ooh.
With like, so like me and my brother, it was almost
I remember
like,
doing that. Yeah.
it was almost kind of like Smash a little bit, but with the characters from the game. Me and my brother would hours, like we'd like run it up on like, you know, we get to watch this show, you know, like we I want to watch this show. We would Star Wars Force and
let's duel it out.
Decide, literally. And so that game, and then probably Kirby. There was a Kirby game on the Wii.
Nice.
And me and my brother played it through so many times, and we even did a playthrough with our mom. Like our mom.
Kirby's great for that.
Yes, like we played it with our mom. So that those are, I guess, like the core memories that I think about when it comes to gaming.
I love that. That's cool.
I feel like I've got one more little thing to add
go
in there
ahead.
because
Go.
You talked about it like that. There was a moment where it was like gaming is just like this is what put me forward is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time on the N64.
Oh, man. You and a whole generation of people, man.
Oh my god, dude! Okay, but hear me out. I was too young to beat the game.
Sure.
Okay, I was just I was a child, and this game had puzzles in it. And those puzzles were annoying. And back then, you didn't have Google and guides.
You had to figure it out.
Well, my older cousin, he knew everything like about the game. He had beaten it, and I would give him my cartridge. He would beat the game on my cartridge, on my Ocarina of Time cartridge, and then give it back to me. And so I'd have a save file with like a maxed out like game. And what that did for me is I got to explore the game because I couldn't do all the puzzles, but I got to be in the world and immerse myself in the world. And I feel like that was where it really clicked. And what I loved about Ocarina of Time so much is I was immersed in this world where I was this hero, this swordsman. I had a horse. I had all these tools, these gadgets, and I got to fight these bad guys. And it was just amazing. Like I loved. I didn't even have to do the puzzle. I wasn't interested so much in the puzzles then. As much as I just wanted to run around the world and be this hero guy to kill bad guys or something. Right?
I love that. That's
it was
cool.
Huge. That was that put me on RPGs for the rest of my life. I will not be able to get away from RPGs.
It's funny that you'd say that about that game because that game, even as this like quote unquote open world as Zelda-ish, it's still very much just little sections. It's very tightly controlled. But even I know
by today's standards,
I feel your core memory because I played that game when I was younger too, and when I was like, oh my god, this is Hyrule. This is what it looks like.
Yes.
It was
Hyrule.
amazing. This is Hyrule. Yeah, it was something else. I'm with you on that.
And they had like these little cinematics in there that were so cool. Like they would take you through like the intro where Ganon's like kidnapping Zelda.
Yeah, you got the drawbridge come down and the lightning.
Dude. And oh my god, it was a moment. You're like, oh, it like put you. It was scary. Ganon was scary. You know, it was a whole experience. I think that really locked me in, man. That was a huge moment.
Turns out games are awesome, guys.
Turns out games are great.
Yeah. We do have a second email question, but we're running a little short on time. So, Andrew, don't worry. We heard you. We're going to talk about your question next week, 100%. And to answer a question from somebody that left a comment, our Elder Scrolls 6 theory is that it will come out at some point. That's it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
most
probably.
likely.
We'll see.
We'll see it. We'll see it at some
Maybe we
point.
can dig into that on the next episode. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to say thank you to both of you for being here at this table. It's an honor to talk to you about games in such detail, and I thoroughly appreciate who you are as gamers and who you are as people, and I just wanted to throw that out there. You guys are amazing.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it. This is super fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, good.
Just vibes.
I love it. And for those of you out there that are listening, I just want to tell you that you matter. You're important. The things that you do in this world are important. And I just want to remind you to call your mom, call your dad, call your brother, Call your family, call your friends, and tell them that you love them because life's too damn short, guys. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Thank you once again for joining us here on the Umbrella Fight, and we will see you next week. Hit the cue music. Go!
Umbrella Fight.